is pouring today. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, December the 6th. It's a little bit before 9 o'clock, and I have just made a list of the projects that I want to get done today. I will bring you along for some of it. It's not too exciting, but it's just stuff that you do that needs to be done. So let's talk about it today. So some of you watch me quite frequently, and you know that Grandma's caregiver quit. Oh, Lordy, God bless. Do not get me started. So we were unable to go on our camping trip that we had planned, and the whole 9 yards. So my husband and I decided that this weekend we are going to go camping. Okay? Life gives you lemonade, you add tequila to it, and you have a good time. So we are going to camp in our camper in the backyard. And today I need to load up the things that I need to camp. For me, I have 3 pillows that I sleep on. I've had them for 100 years, and I have to take those pillows wherever I'm going to sleep at night. So I need to pack that. I need to pack some warmish clothes. I need to pack our food for a few days. And we are just gonna lay out there, chitty chat, I'm gonna scrapbook. My husband's not gonna scrapbook. He's probably gonna watch sports. We're just gonna visit. We're just gonna have a good time, the two of us. However, we have Grandma. So Grandma is going to be fine. Please do not worry about Grandma. We are going to treat our house as the lodge, because our campground that we like to camp out has a lodge with a big fireplace and internet and bathrooms and laundry services and all that stuff. So this is going to be our lodge. And Grandma's still asleep right now, though she might wake up as she hears me doing this. I'm going to feed her breakfast. I'm probably going to bring her out to the window, and then I'll feed my wild birds and she can watch that. But once we get all my things done and we're ready to go out to the camper, I will be coming in about every 2 hours to check on Grandma. So do not worry about her. She will be perfectly fine. I would never put her in a position where she was not. Okay? But my husband and I are still going to have our camping trip. We're just going to do it on our own property, and we're going to have fun. We can't control what this caregiver did. We can pull out our little voodoo dolls. Yes, we can. And our sewing needles. Am I joking? I don't know. I'll leave that for you to decide. Okay? Those of you who think the best of me can just believe I'm joking. Those of you who think the worst of me will just understand that a girl has to do what a girl has to do. Somewhere in between that range is the truth. Okay, so enough about that. I am going to film some of that for you because we are determined to have a very good time. Okay? You can't let other people's crappy actions interfere with your life. Okay, so I wrote a list of the things I need to do, and most of it is related to some food bank stuff that I need to take care of. I'm not going to do these things in order, but I love, love, love spam calls in the morning. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Love them. Okay, so as I was saying, I have multiple things I need to do with some food bank items. One of the things I need to do is I need to take my butternut squash, peel it along with carrots, potatoes, asparagus, and I think I had something else. I don't know. I'm going to do a big sheet pan of roasted vegetables, and then we are going to eat those for a few days. That's what I want to do today. The second thing I want to do today is I just pulled this bird out of my refrigerator, and it is still frozen. So we're going to let it sit on the counter, and when it's thawed, I'm going to slice the breast meat off for sandwiches, and then I'm going to throw this bad boy into my counter, and I'm going to make 4 quarts of chicken broth. However, this is a bird with a lot of meat on it. It's going to have its legs on it, and it's still going to have its thighs on it. So I might be able to get 8 quarts. We will see. I also pulled out some of my frozen apple juice because I want to mix it with my cranberry juice and have it for the mornings that we're in the camper. I also want to bake 4 of my monster cookies. 1 for Grandma, 1 for Addie. And who's going to get the other 2? We just don't know. We don't. It's a mystery. I don't know. Can I eat 2 monster cookies? All right, the other project I have today is now I swear to God, do not leave me a comment about this because I am in the mood, okay? Look down here. I have 6 pounds of hamburger, and I have a package of hamburger that I threw in the freezer because I only used half a pound at some point. So before you say to me, girl, why do you go to the food bank? You have 6 pounds of hamburger in your freezer or refrigerator. If you write me that comment, I'm going to go to town. There's a new sheriff in town, and her name is Deanna, so don't do it. All right? So I get these quite frequently from my food bank. I generally get one every time I go. And what I do, instead of using that hamburger in the week that I get it, I throw it in my freezer until I have 5 or 6. And then I do one of 2 things. I either brown it all up, put it back in freezer bags, and put it in my freezer so that I have beautiful browned ground beef for the meals that I want to cook. Or I can it, and I use it for the meals that I want to cook. But that's a lot of work to go through every week with 1 pound of hamburger. So I don't use that hamburger that week. I wait until I have 6, do what I want to do, and then I use it for the next 6 or 7 weeks. That hamburger that you see me using, that's what this is. Don't leave me that comment. Okay? Just don't do it. Save yourselves, because I'm feisty today. Feisty like only an old white woman can be. Okay, so I think we covered everything I want to do today. Of course, I need to feed everybody breakfast. I need to straighten up my house. I need to go out and feed my chickens and my wild birds. But I'm excited just to get these projects done. I really want a bunch of roasted veggies. So let's get to it. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, I don't know what you guys are doing today, but I hope you're going to be productive. If you've got food bank groceries, I hope you're looking around, seeing how you can prepare them, how can you preserve them, how can you serve them to your family. Be good stewards, you guys. All right? All right. I'm not going to bring you through step by step. I will probably just show you finished projects. All right, I'll be back. Let's take a look at my monster cookie. There it is. Look how big that is, you guys. Can you see that? Can you see it, Grandma?
Wow.
I'm going to cut it into 4ths, and we can each have a 4th, and then you can have some more if you want. But I think one big fat, unless you want me to just hand you a monster cookie. Okay, because it's fun to eat a great big fat monster cookie.
Oh, you couldn't. It's so huge.
She says she couldn't, but I'm pretty sure she could. All right, let me taste it for you guys. There we go. Here we go. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Good cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. It's perfect, Grandma. You're going to love it.
Good.
All right, I'm going to clean up my mess. Okay, butternut squash is done. Let's get to these potatoes. I peeled and washed 6 of them, so I'm going to chop them up and add them to my bowl. Okay, it's time to do the carrots. I think I'm just going to scrub them. I'm not going to bother peeling them. Carrot peels don't bother me for this dish. And how are you loving the hair today? I do not care. I feel kind of unicorny though. It's all right. Let me go take care of these. Okay, now we are going to deal with the Brussels sprouts. There's quite a few here, I think. I don't know how many I'll do. I should do them all at once because we can eat these roasted vegetables all week long. They stay nicely in the refrigerator. We'll see how much patience I have, okay? All right, my cookies are in the oven, by the way, and I got my timer set for 10 minutes, so we'll see what those look like. Grandma, say it again, Grandma, loud enough.
Cookies in the oven, yum!
Yeah, she heard the word cookie and she just came all alive and sparkly. Though she's still quite enjoying all the little animals in our backyard. Hey, the crow is drinking out of my water fountain. Nice. I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Can you see the blue? Grandma, look over here. Look that way and you'll see my blue.
Yeah.
Do you see it? The crow's on top of it? Look where my garden is.
I see one of their crows are sitting right there at the corner.
Yeah, that's my water fountain for them.
Oh,
It's not a
okay.
water fountain, it's a bird bath. But nevertheless, the birds love me these days.
Good.
Probably because my inner
Look at
green
them
garden
pretty.
witch is coming out for the whole world to see. We don't know. Just an update. The donuts from the food bank were pretty stale. So I think Addie ate one. The boys last night took a couple, but I don't know if they're going to be able to eat theirs. Grandma tried one this morning and it was just not enjoyable. So I just chopped them up and I'm going to go throw them out to my crows so Grandma can watch the crows eat. This is another job that I don't love. My hands do not like to touch meat. No. Especially when I have to pick meat off a bird. I don't love that. But here it is, this roasted chicken that we got in the food bank yesterday. It's right down here. And I want to take the meat off of it and stick it in my pot. So over here I have those carrot ends from the carrots I just roasted and the onion skins from the carrot I just roasted. And I am now going to put these pieces into the carcass. I'm not interested in keeping this part of the bird for eating. I'm going to cut it and make it into broth. I am, however, going to cut the chicken breast. Now, Grandma is giving me the evil eye because she likes the legs and the thighs, but today, I do not care.
Oh, you careless creature.
I am not going to piddle around with legs and thighs on this bird.
Legs and thighs are the best.
It's not going to happen. I'm cold-hearted. Okay, I will, however, cut the breast meat, so
Okay,
I can bring you down and watch that. Can you guys see okay?
No.
Oh, Grandma's fussing.
Oh, listen to that crow boy.
Okay, let's cut this. Ugh, I just can't stand to touch cold meat. Any meat. All right, here we go. Okay. There's probably a little bit more there. Okay, if you will remember, there's this, that's what I'm going to keep. If you will remember, I have some like little submarine sandwiches. So I'm going to doctor those up today for Grandma and my husband, and I'm going to put some of this turkey on that. So it'll be a roast beef turkey sandwich. It should be lovely. Now, this bad boy has a lot of meat on it, but my little fingers cannot stand to touch it. So we're just going to put it in the stock pot. Dostevanya, little chicken carcass. May you make the most beautiful stock. Yeah, that's what I can do. So let's get this going, because I like to cook this for about 3 hours. And it makes the darkest, richest chicken stock ever. So I will do that. How's my hamburger coming? It's not quite thawed. I will clean this up, and I think I will do my dishes. Canner is going. Chicken is going to go in the refrigerator. My work surface is fairly clean. Gonna go ahead and work on the dishes. Even though my dishwasher is running, I'll just probably hand wash what's there. My hamburger, like I said a minute or two ago, is not thawed out, so it can just sit there for a while. And we'll get the show on the road. Okay, my roasted vegetables are still not done, but I did get these all cut and cleaned, seasoned, and they're... All right, my asparagus and green beans are in the oven. Broth is just a cooking along, but I want you to look at these roasted veggies because they are gorgeous. Look at that. Doesn't that look fabulous? All right, now I'm going to add green beans and asparagus to that, and we are going to eat that all week long. I want to taste it for you, but it looks a little too hot. Okay, I'll leave it there, you guys. That is beautiful. I'm starving. I'm starving. So I am going to have some roasted veggies right now for lunch. And I have tasted everything. The asparagus, the green beans, the butternut, the carrots. It is all fantastic. The Brussels sprouts. I'm going to have a big old serving. Okay, you guys, that is what I'm going to have for lunch. I've just got Grandma all settled in for her afternoon nap. She stayed up late today. Usually she likes to nap about 11:30. And she made it to about 1 o'clock. So good for Grandma. So I'm going to eat. I don't have anything in the oven, so I'm okay there. When I come back, I'm going to ground that hamburger, and I'm going to package it up so that I have ground hamburger cooked in my freezer. There are some meals where you want that fried flavor to your hamburger, and so that's why I'm doing it this way this time instead of canning it. I think it'll be delicious. So when I come back, I will do that. I'm starving. I'm going to eat. I'm going to give it a tiny little more sprinkle of salt on mine, you guys. It's going to be good. Okay, I have my roasted vegetables all portioned out. I got 9 of these. I ate one. It was so good. So I'm going to put 4 in my refrigerator here and 4 out in the camper for our camping trip because one of these is a meal by itself. You don't need anything else. It is delicious. All right, the next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with that hamburger. I think it's ready to deal with. So let me do that, and then my husband and I are starting to load up the camper for our trip, and that is fun. Our trip. Our trip to the end of the yard. It's all right. It's all right. Just change your attitude. Life goes on. Be happy. Okay, it is about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I've just been working right along. So I don't know if you can see the pan, but over there on the stove, I have browned all of my hamburger. I'm going to pack it up in a few minutes. But I also am making a goulash dish. And in that, I have a pound of rigatoni, 2 cups of my ground hamburger, and a can of Prego. All of that was food bank items. Let me grab a spoon. And it is, the pan is really hot, so let me grab something. I've also been loading up the camper with the kitchen utensils and everything that we need for a few meals, downloading a couple of books, a couple of movies, because we don't get internet that far out on the edge of the property. All right, so that's all that looks like. Where did my spoon go? Here it is. All right, so let's just stir this up. Okay, that looks pretty good. To that, I need to taste it and see what I need to do seasoning-wise. I'll just drop it right there. I'm going to add some cheese. The cheese is mine. I do have cheese from the food bank, but I haven't grated it up, so we'll use this. Just about a cup and a half, I would say. And there we go. Now this can be eaten just like this, but I like to bake mine for a while because I think it just ends up with a nicer taste to it. What about you guys? When you make this dish, do you bake yours or do you just serve it like that? Let me taste this and see what I need to do seasoning-wise. Good. I like it. Definitely needs some salt and some pepper. I already unloaded, babe. Okay. Ooh, that's looking good. We'll give it a little bit of pepper. And I think we'll add some garlic and parsley and some Italian seasoning. And that should be good enough. I'll stick it in the oven for a half hour, 45 minutes. I'll pull it out. You know the drill. I'm going to portion it. And then we have a few more meals, a couple of choices. Everybody's good to go. All right, I only have 17 more minutes on my broth, but it's going to have to cool down for an hour. So we'll let that happen, and then I will can that up and can it tonight. Now I'll need to come in from the camper to the lodge and get that all set up, but that's okay. It's got to be done. Let's look down here. All right, so I've added those additional spices. That's looking pretty good to me. Let's taste it. See what we think. Right there. Just gonna taste for seasoning. Oops, lost it. Come on. There we go. Needs some more salt. Okay, let's try it again. Wiping my fork off. Okay. Okay, that's better. I want to taste the meat and see if I got the meat salted enough. No. Okay. So I'm going to put a lid on that. I'm going to toss it in the oven, and I'm going to bag up my hamburger. Okay, I did just taste my hamburger off camera, and it does definitely need some salt, in my opinion, and some pepper. All right, let me give that a little stir. And that's all the seasoning that I want to do to this, because I want this just to be neutral. Just a starting point for whatever I want to make. Although I did add onions and bell peppers to it. That's not going to hurt anything. Okay, let's see what we think. Okay. Definitely better. So let me bag this up, and then I'll show you, and then I'll take it to I'll let it cool for a little bit still, and then I'll take it to the freezer. All right, I'll just show you one. I have a 1 cup measuring cup, and I like to put 2 cups of ground beef in a baggie. That seems to be enough meat for whatever we want to cook. If I need more, I could use 2 bags. Just fold it over, get all the air out, seal it, and move on to the next one. So let's see how many we can get out of this. Okay, for those 6 pounds of hamburger, I got 6 2-cup packages of hamburger. 5 here, and 1 that I used on my goulash just a few minutes ago. So that is good. Present self is making things easier for future self. And since I had to be in the kitchen today doing a bunch of stuff anyway, let's just knock it out, you guys. There we go. Now, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not. So, I like to put my individual bags in another baggie for double protection. Plus, when I do that, all of my hamburger stays in one place. I have a better chance of finding it when I need it. Okay, I'll bring you back and show you the finished chicken stock. And then I think I will not do very much filming about my outside camping, because I really just want to spend the time with my husband without, trying to worry about if I can get it on film or, whatever. We're 2 little old people. We're going to play cards. We're going to drink coffee. We're going to go to bed early. There's our camping trip. All right. I'll show you the chicken stock, and then we'll say goodbye for the day. All right. I'll be back. Good morning, everybody. This is Deanna with Food Bank Beautiful, and it is Sunday, December the 8th. And it is 50 shades of gray outside, people. But we are not gray in the house. We are going to get some stuff done. So I just thought I'd quickly show you what I'm doing this morning. I'll attach it to whatever video I'm ready to post next. But right over here, you can see that I have started some fried potatoes. And over in that bowl, you can see some more fried potatoes. I like to fry my potatoes in small batches so that they get super crispy. And I like my potatoes to look like, can you see the top of that? Like that. All over. I've got about 4 onions chopped up between these 2 potatoes. So I am doing that. Now, I also got everything ready. So I went out to my freezer. I got a kielbasa. I chopped it up. I'll be browning those up to add to the potatoes when I'm done. And then I have some eggs ready to go. And I have some cheese that I'm going to add. And I've got some avocados here. Grandma and I like avocados on top of our fried potatoes. So that's what we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start addressing that 50-pound bag of white potatoes, and we're going to start addressing the 50-pound bag of red potatoes. Now, I'm going to do two different things. The white potatoes, these are baby Yukons. I am going to can the baby Yukons. And when I say baby, I mean baby, okay? So it's labor intensive to peel those little baby potatoes, but you know what? My future self is gonna think that I am the bomb, all right? So today I don't love it, but I don't mind it. So can you hear Georgie out there? But it needs to get done. The red potatoes, this is the, what did I have it? I saw it. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. This is the only thing I have that is a slicer. And I'm going to try to slice those red potatoes, scrub with the peels on, and dehydrate them, and start making dehydrated sliced potatoes that I can use for scallop potatoes and things like that through the winter. So I have a lot of jobs to do. Now I expect these potatoes to take me a week maybe to get them all processed and ready to go, including the dehydrated. It might take me a little bit longer than that. If you watch me, you know that a day or two ago I made my chicken stock, and you can see it right here, 4 quarts of glorious chicken stock. I need to wipe those jars because they're a little greasy, and then they can go into the pantry. Okay, that is what I'm doing. This is my big start. You can see that I have a lot of work to do. Grandma is not up yet, so I need to get her up and get her all situated so she can enjoy breakfast and watch the birds. Okay, let's get to it. All right, it is about 11 o'clock in the morning. I didn't take video of breakfast, but it was delicious. All the eggs and all of the beef sausages are gone. We did have our guy down the hall eat with us. I did get some leftover of the fried potatoes, and those are going to be delicious in the next day or two. Now, I have prepared 4 quarts of potatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and put them into my canner. Hot water, hot water. I blanched these potatoes for about 10 minutes. And they're all peeled. 1 teaspoon of canning salt in the bottom of each quart. And these are going to pressure can for 40 minutes. So let me get that done. And I am not... That canner is sassy mouthing me. Apparently it doesn't like it when I try to do 2 things at once. I am not going to peel potatoes to can. I only have 4 more jars, and I can do 1 more full loader, but I'm not going to peel those until about an hour and a half down the road, because this takes 40 minutes to can once it comes to pressure, and then it has to cool for an hour before I can reload it. I am going to go grab some of my red potatoes. I'm going to scrub those up and slice those and get those ready for dehydrating. But I got to sit down because I'm pooped. And it's only 11 o'clock. All right, here we go. Good morning. It is Monday, look at your calendar. I'm guessing the 9th, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Grandma is over here eating breakfast. She's having that junky donut hole cereal.
Yum.
This is the last of it though, so she got that done. We got that at the food bank probably a month ago, and it had 5 servings a box, so you can see that she doesn't eat it every single day. Now, I have a rather ambitious agenda. I promise you I'm not picking my nose. My finger just went right there. We have a rather ambitious agenda today, and the first thing that I need to do is I need to continue to work on these little itty bitty potatoes, which is very labor intensive because I have to sit and peel them, and it takes a long time. Now, yesterday I made 12 quarts of potatoes and 4 pints of potatoes, and let me grab a jar for you. And this is what they look like. Some of the jars are just potato pieces, and some of the jars are the whole babies. Aren't those cute? I just love those. Yes, I do. So I have this big bag right here. And once I finish this bag, I am at the halfway mark of my 50-pound box. I will have gone through 25 pounds of potatoes. I am also going to continue to dehydrate potatoes, but I am going to change something. Hold on. So this is what not all, but some of mine look like this because I didn't know what I was doing and they oxidized, and that is not appealing to me. Nobody in my family will eat this. So I'm going to pick those pieces out, and some of them are perfectly fine. You can see how pretty those are. But I sliced these too thin. So I'm still going to use the good ones. I'm going to put them in a jar, and then I'm going to slice red potatoes this morning and get those in the dehydrator. And I'm just going to slice them a little bit thicker, because I don't know how these will cook up. I'm wanting these for scalloped potatoes for the year, and we will see. I also have water on the back burner for me. I'm going to make a great big thing of pasta salad. Everybody in my house loves pasta salad, and I can cook it up with chicken patties, I think, and that'll be great for the week. I do need to clean out my refrigerator and see what's in there. You can see that it is a hot mess. So we'll get to that, hopefully. My living area is a little bit of a mess, but honestly today my priority is to power through those potatoes. Yes, indeed. When my cousin Laura was here, I like to send her home with jars of beans and potatoes and green beans. And by the way, those lemon garlic green beans that I made, they were disgusting. The beans were just kind of slimy. I don't know. I have yet to can green beans that I like. So the chickens got those. I have 2 or 3 more jars in my pantry, which I will empty out this week, feed them to the birds. That's my chickens, and we'll get that taken care of. So I am out of quart jars. I have 1, 2, I think I have 3 or 4 jars that I can wash, and then I've got to wait for a Walmart order for some jars and some lids, but it must be done, people. And that's my day. We'll see. These are my pajamas. You guys have seen them all the time. 10 o'clock tonight, your girl is probably still going to be wearing these. So, you know, for all of you who hang out in your jammies, you do it. Okay, let me get these potatoes squared away, and I'll get on with my next little job. Let's get it done today. Let's have fun. All right. Okay, this is the amount of dried potatoes that I got for my efforts yesterday. Kind of disappointing, but I have a very small dehydrator, and I pitched a bunch that were gray because I knew that that would not be appetizing when it was time to eat. So there we go. Monday. Let's see what we can do today for Tuesday. Okay, a few things are done, some small tasks. So my potatoes, this is the last tray to go in. I did soak those, like I said, in a little bit of salt and lemon juice water, and we'll see if that prevents the oxidization. I also got the pasta salad completed, and Grandma's taking a couple bites of it right now.
It's yummy.
Is it yummy, Grandma?
Yep.
And I got my first bowl of little baby yellows peeled. So they're soaking in ice cold water now. I've got to clean my kitchen, and then I can chop them up and blanch them, get my jars ready, and start my first canning. That I need to keep track of all day. So let's see how these do. We will check these tomorrow and see what we think. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, December the 10th, and I believe it's a little bit after 9 a.m. And I have, again, a ton of things that I need to do today, and almost all of them are in the kitchen with the addition of some chores that I need to do. So yesterday, I think you saw the picture, I canned 8 quarts of potatoes. These are my favorites, where the little potatoes are nice and whole. I need to continue that job, but that job is labor intensive because I have to peel potatoes that are this big. Yesterday I also made bread. I used the recipe on my fast rising yeast, and I added a little bit of my sourdough starter. Just because I like the flavor of sourdough. I don't necessarily need the air bubbles and the gorgeous crustiness of it. Though I can make that, but that is a 2-day process, and I just don't have that kind of time. So I followed the directions on this bad boy with the addition of using some starter instead of some of the flour in the water, and it was fine. But the recipe said divide the dough into 2. And I did that, and I ended up with these little itty bitty loaves. Didn't stop us from eating them. But today I'm going to make that bread right now again, but I'm only going to shape it into 1 loaf. And I believe I'm going to bake it in a small Dutch oven. I don't know, I might still do it in my cake pans, but I want to get that started so that I can move on to other things. So today I know that I need to bake bread, I need to can potatoes, I need to clean my kitchen, I desperately need to go out and clean my chicken coop, but I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I got some living area to clean, a load of laundry to fold that I washed and dried yesterday, but just couldn't fold. And we'll see if we can get that done. I don't know what else we're going to do. We'll see. All right. Ta-ta. Oh. Okay. So this is what my dehydrated potatoes look like. And I think they're nice and hard. Can you hear it crack? But I think that I don't love the peel. I thought the peel wouldn't bother me, but I think that I'm going to go ahead and take the time to peel these and dehydrate them. So that is another great big peeling job of potatoes that I have to do. I'm not sure that I will keep these because these are not quite yet what I want. But I think after I take the peel off, if I soak them in lemon juice and water, I will still have a really nice white potato without oxidation. And so that's what I'm going to do. I really want those potatoes to be something that we're going to eat and use. So I'm willing to do that. But it takes a while. I might shred potatoes and dehydrate those too. We'll see. Okay, got work to do today. Okay, let's look down here. This is what my bread looks like, and I just need to go ahead and get it all combined and then knead it for a few minutes, and then it rests for 15 to 20, and then I put it in the pan that I'm going to bake it in, and I bake it. It's fairly easy. Now the only thing I did different to this loaf than to the recipe is I did not add sourdough starter to this, only because I'm feeding my sourdough this morning and I don't want to use that in this bread. I did add about 2 tablespoons of sugar, and the rest of it is just the recipe on the back of the Rapid Rise packet. So let me get this all smooth and elastic and I'll come back and show you. Okay, you missed some excitement this morning. When I went to let my chickens out, Harriet the Spy flew from her rafter smack into my face, knocked my glasses off, and I think I'm going to have some discoloration there. Grandma's out here cackling like a wild woman because she thoroughly enjoyed it. So there was some language going on and the camera was still on. So I think later Grandma and I will sit and watch every name that I called that chicken for 30 minutes. But you guys will not see it because, you know, yeah, it was colorful language. If it was just a stray little F word, maybe, but it was a string of everything I could think of in every language I know how to swear in, which is a few. Okay, let's look down here. Oh, and the other thing is, I was making Grandma some cheese toast, and I got it all ready to go for breakfast, and the toaster oven caught fire. I don't know. Somebody has done something wrong somewhere, and since I'm the one who nearly set the house on fire and nearly broke my nose, I'd say it was me. Yeah. Maybe this girl needs to quit swearing. Please. Life is not worth living unless you can just do a stream of swear words. Let's look down here. So I have my cutie patootie little Dutch oven. I've got my bread in here. I'm going to put the lid on and let this rise for about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. And I'm looking for my Pam spray. If you guys could see my kitchen, you would have a coronary. Okay, let me get, where's the lid? Oh my God, did you see that? I just knocked all of Grandma's cheese toast on the floor.
No!
What the?
My cheese toast! Oh!
Okay.
Why would we just kind of proportion?
This is not a great morning. No.
Cheese
No,
toast
it
on
is
the
not.
floor I have to eat. No. It's really on the floor.
It's on the floor, Grandma.
You can't, I mean, words.
Oh my God. Oh, something else just fell.
Good heavens.
I need my Pam spray. All right, I'll come back to you guys. Okay, I cut up all the bread that landed on the floor. Here's what I got out of the dustbin off the counter. I'm pouring that on top of this, and I'm going to go chuck it to my birds. Okay, I have swept the floor. I have fed all the crappy bread and crumbs on my floor to my birds. Here's Grandma's breakfast. It's kind of big this morning. She has 3 pieces of cheese toast on store-bought bread rather than homemade bread. And she only eats the center. So while it looks like a lot, it's really not. Over here, she's got some orange slices, and there's a couple of cheese cubes. She may or may not eat, you know, those cheese cubes. We'll see. All right, good morning everybody. It is Wednesday, December 11th, and it is about 9:45. Now, I have been up since 7. Addie's been up a couple hours earlier than me, I think, and Grandma just got up about 40 minutes ago. So she is sitting by the window. She's looking through a dahlia catalog, and she's picking out 2 dahlias that she'd like to see in the garden next year. Her birds are in, her crows have come in, the squirrels have come in, George has been up to see her. They've been having conversations like Grandma is an inmate at a women's penitentiary. She has to talk to Georgie through plate glass. Yeah. So you might hear Grandma chitty-chatting in the background. I'm not going to edit her out. She can say whatever she wants to say. Now, I am, however, going to make some breakfast this morning. I'm going to make some breakfast burritos. I have some leftover fried potatoes, not very many, just a little bit. Those are so good. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use some of my farm fresh eggs, and I'm going to scramble them with a little bit of roasted red pepper in them. And then I've got some cheese and some flour burritos, and I'm going to fry them when we're done, and we're just going to have breakfast burritos. Now, I did not get a lot done yesterday. If you will recall, I sustained a pretty good injury. A 15-pound Buff Orpington hen flew right in my face. Knocked my glasses off, hurt my nose, and I thought I was going to get a big, gorgeous bruise here, but I didn't. This is just, this discoloration, I think, is just old age and sleep. It's not the glorious black eye I was hoping for, because who doesn't love a good war wound? And that big bruise I had on my leg, that is, almost faded out, and now I have nothing to brag about, so I don't know. Yesterday I was pretty tired, so I did do 3, 6, 9, 12. I did do the last 12 pints of my potatoes, which brings me to 33 quarts of potatoes from that 50-pound box. That was labor intensive because it took hours to peel itty-bitty potatoes. So that's done. I'll clean those jars up. The rest of the jars are lined down the hall and a little bit further down the hall. I'll take all that to the pantry. I did pull out 2 bags of cranberries. While I'm not doing anything, I might as well can up 4 quarts of cranberry juice. I do want to make a hamburger helper mix that I saw online for Grandma and I tonight to see if we like it, and if we do, I will can up a couple. Addie won't care for it, so I'll find something else for him, or he can fend for himself. I don't always cook separately for him. If he doesn't like what I'm cooking, he's more than happy to fend for himself. Oh, here's the cranberries right here in front of me. 1 and 2, and I think I have 4 more in the freezer, so I'll just do those on a day where I'm not really doing anything else. Seems like I have an avocado. I'm not sure. That one doesn't feel ripe, and these 2 feel like they might have gotten a little overripe. So we may or may not be able to use those. Grandma says use them up, but it will depend on the quality of the avocado when I cut into it. Now, I am not making bread this morning, but my sourdough starter is so active that last night it bubbled out all over my counter, and behind me is a counter with dried sourdough starter all over it. Yay, me! I will have to clean that up this morning. I did not do my dishes after dinner last night, so I've got to take care of that. I did make the little cube steak that I got. I read all your guys' comments, and most of them were just, the same, maybe do an egg dip and a seasoned flour dip and fry it up and serve it with mashed potatoes and gravy. I did cook it, but as I was cooking it, my nose didn't like it. So I wonder if that piece of meat was turning. So I took it off the grill and I stuck it on a plate, and this morning I chopped it up into all kinds of little pieces and fed it to my crows, and they're loving it. But I think that the method is right, and if I ever get my hands on one again, I will try again, because I love chicken fried steak, and that's kind of what it looked like. But the smell was not right, and I'm not going to poison anybody, in my house if I can help it. I can do it on accident perfectly fine without doing it on purpose. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I will show you the burritos when I serve them. I'm not going to go through the whole process of, keeping you here today. We'll see what I get done. There's a bunch of frozen cookie dough I might bake up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. So, I don't know. Let's see what we get done. Okay, I have all of the components ready, and I am going to go ahead and make 3 breakfast burritos. And then if I have any other leftover filling, which it looks like I will have, I'll make a couple more, and I won't fry them, but I'll stick them in the refrigerator and we can fry them up for breakfast tomorrow. They'll be scrumptious. Yum, yum. Okay, let's look down here. This is where I'm going to start my breakfast burrito. This one is my husband's, so it has a little bit of sour cream. And then on his, I'm going to put a little bit of salsa. I don't want salsa on mine, but I think he'll like that. Maybe just a little bit more. And then some egg and potato and red pepper filling. Roasted red pepper, that ought to be delicious. Kind of get that off to the side. He will not want avocado, but we're going to give him a little bit of cheese. And his breakfast burrito is done and ready to be rolled. Okay, not my best rolling job, but there it is. Grandma, do you want salsa on yours?
Well,
a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, Grandma wants salsa. So we'll do hers next. If I can get that sour cream off. And she's going to want some avocado, so let's get some avocado on hers,
Yum, yum,
which
yum.
is right there. She said she wanted a little bit of salsa, so we can do that. Some egg and potato and roasted red peppers right there. And a little sprinkle of cheese, and Grandma's burrito is good to go. Whoops, my fingers don't want to, that one just doesn't want to go in further. Okay, there's Grandma's. And then let's do mine. Mine is going to have sour cream. You could just do anything. So on this particular meal, most of this is mine actually. So the eggs, of course, are right from my chickens. The sour cream is mine. The roasted red peppers are mine. The avocados are food bank, and the cheese is mine. But I do have a brick of food bank cheese in my refrigerator, but I wanted to use this up first. So that completes that. I do not want salsa on mine. I am not a big fan of salsa. So here it is. Just like that. And it looks like I have enough for maybe 2 more burritos tomorrow. So I'll roll those up, and then if Addie wants burritos tomorrow for breakfast, he can have them. Well, anybody can have them who wants them. It just depends on who gets to them first. Okay, I am now going to fry these up on my skillet in a little bit of vegetable oil, and it should be delicious. I'm going to start with my hubby because he's been working hard all morning. Let's get him fed. Life is so much easier with a fed and happy husband, people. All right, I'll be back. Okay, it is now 11:38 in the morning, and I have the dishwasher running, but you can see I still have a sink load of dishes to go in the dishwasher, a few on the counter, but the rest of my kitchen's looking pretty good. Now, I took these potatoes off of the dehydrator yesterday, and I decided that I just don't like the peels on those. So these I'm going to toss, which makes me a little bit sad. It's about 8 or 9 potatoes worth, but I'm not happy with them. And if I'm not happy with them, I know that they're just going to sit on my pantry shelves and be of no use. They did, however, dehydrate very nicely. Can you hear that? Now, my chickens will not eat these, and I don't think my wild birds will eat them either, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss them. Believe me, it hurts me a little bit more than it does you. Tossed. Okay, down here in this bowl, I peeled about 8 or 9 red potatoes, and now they're soaking in cold water with about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a little bit of salt. And I'm going to let them sit there for maybe 30 minutes, and then I'm going to put them in the dehydrator and try for the 3rd time to make some dehydrated potatoes that I really want and will use. If those turn out good, I'm going to work on that 50-pound bag. I'm also going to save some of those potatoes for roasting and baked potatoes and mashed potatoes, but that's what I'm doing. Now, I took out some cranberries to can cranberry juice, but I do not have any jars. I have 1 quart-sized jar right here and either 2 or 3 quart-sized jars in my dishwasher, so I need to wait for the dishwasher to finish so that I have jars. I did pull out of my freezer 2 apple juices. Actually, this one might be orange juice, I'm not sure. And we'll drink those up in the next day or 2, and then I'll have those 2 jars as well. Of course, if worse comes to worse, I can buy another case of quart jars, but I don't want to. So let's see if I can empty out some jars between now and then. All right, I am going to think about making some of that hamburger helper to see if we like that. We'll see. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm back. It is 1 o'clock, and I had to go to the co-op, which means I needed to change clothes, but I like the way I look here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and lay out the potatoes. They've been soaking for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and let's see if this will do what I want it to do. So I have 5 trays, and I'm just gonna lay them out, and we'll see what we've got. And then I had to go to the co-op to get some layer feed And while I was there, I found quart jars, wide mouth, on sale from $21.99 to $13, 12 pack. So I bought 3. So as soon as I take care of my potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and do my cranberry juice and, you know, carry on. All right. I'll do these. You guys saw. I'll do 5 trays that look like that, and then we'll be okay. And I forgot to show you what our breakfast burritos look like, but they were super delicious. And because I've had a run of absolute clumsiness, my husband's, when I went to put his on a plate, it fell on the floor. So I only have one. I had to refry him a fresh one because nobody wants to eat off the floor. But my crows are out there like mad, so I'll probably just throw it out there and get this one done. All right, I will see you guys in a little bit. I'm not gonna do the whole canning of the cranberry juice with you. I'll just show you the jars before I stick them into the canner. And we'll see if I can get that cranberry juice made. My husband and I think the cranberry juice is to die for. We absolutely love it. And so I'm gonna get that taken care of. All right, I'll be back. Okay, here are my 5 trays. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let me get those going and I'll move on to the next thing. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, December the 12th. Cold, about 34, 35 degrees outside. Shades of gray, baby. Shades of gray. And I am, of course, wearing clean jammies, but I have done nothing with bedhead hair. Bedhead hair. Not a thing. I just want to catch you up on yesterday. Yesterday got kind of busy and I just wasn't able to show you everything. So I only did 4 quarts of cranberry juice. I'm going to work on more cranberry juice today. And I dehydrated my potatoes, and actually I'm pretty happy with them. So finally, a dehydrated potato that I can live with. So I decided to go ahead and keep these. They're not ideal, but I think they'll be okay. So let's go ahead and get those in my jar. And it does take about, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 hours to do the potatoes. So I'm just going to do a batch every day, and we'll see how that goes. And so let's see where we're at. So we're about right there. That's pretty good. I'll also be making a shelf-stable cheese sauce to go with my potatoes so that I can make scallop potatoes. That's really what I want to do here. So this is Thursday. So it took us a while. It took us 3 tries. The 3rd time was the result that I liked the best. So we're going to go ahead and continue with that. This morning, Grandma's up. I just gave her a cup of hot chocolate and her meds. I need to fix her some breakfast. Then I've got to take care of a few other little details. I'm going to can 4 quarts of cranberry juice, and I'm going to work on these potatoes. And then I have to think about what, if anything, I'm going to do for dinner, or if we're just going to fend out of the refrigerator, which is what we've been doing the last few days. People might be tired of those leftovers, so I might be feeding that to the chickens. I think I only have 3 or 4. I think I only have 4 containers left. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them up there. Those little black ones right up there. 4. And some pasta salad. And 1 lonely, terrifying piece of pizza. All right, I'll come back to you. I won't show you the cranberry. I'll just show you the finished product. And my cranberries always get a sugar ring around the bottom. I don't love that, and I'm not sure why. That one's pretty good. That one's, I don't know. And that one's good. So I don't know why 2 dissolved beautifully and 1 did not. If you got an idea, let me know. All right, good enough. I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna pull my cranberry juice out of the canner. There it is, there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And then I'm going to start another project that I'm going to bring you guys along for, and when I'm done with that, if I have time, I'm going to do another 4 quarts of cranberry juice. Get those cranberries out of my freezer. So you know that I have been dehydrating potatoes, and today I am going to make my own scalloped potato mix, and then I'm going to cook it and see how I like it, and then I'm going to continue to dehydrate the potatoes. So let me gather up my ingredients and I'll be right back. All right, I am actually going to triple the dry seasoning mix because I can use it on fresh potatoes as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1.5 cups of non-fat dry milk powder. And I have a 1 cup measuring cup. Let's look down here. So there's that. It's about 1.5 cups. And then I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of flour. Okay, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of freeze-dried chives. If I can get it open. Okay, 3 tablespoons. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of onion. It says onion powder, but I don't have onion powder. I have granulated onion, and I'm just going to assume that that is close enough. So here we go. 3 teaspoons of onion powder if you've got it, granulated onion if you don't. 1, 2, 3. And then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Let's see, is that right? 1.5 teaspoons of salt. We'll call that right there. And then, let's see, 1/4. looks like maybe a half a teaspoon of pepper. It calls for 1/8. That'd be a fourth, a little bit more than a fourth. All right, so we'll do a fourth and an eighth. Okay, fourth and an eighth. There we go. And then to mine, which the recipe I'm following doesn't call for, I'm going to add a tablespoon of parsley. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to shake this up. Okay. Now, I made 3 batches worth here, and I went ahead and measured it out, and so for me, it's going to be 3/4 of a cup of mix per the recipe. So I am going to write that on my jar right now. Okay, let's find a spot. So 3/4 cup of mix, and then it's going to be 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 3/4 cup of boiling water. And then I'm going to bake at 350 for 45 minutes. $350, 45 minutes. Okay, 3 cups of potatoes. Okay, that should be good enough. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put my ingredients away and mix that up and see what we think. I've got some water boiling right there, and it looks like it's good to go. So let me start by spraying my casserole dish. Okay, and then here are my 3 cups of, trying to make room here. Let's bring it down here. Here is my 3 cups of potatoes, my 3/4 cup of dry powder mix, which is right there, and then 2 3/4 cup of boiling water, and that's on the stove, so let me just grab that. There's 1, 2, let's see, 2 3/4 cup of boiling water. Yes, 2 3/4 cups of boiling water. Okay, let me mix that up. Looks pretty good. Okay, now I am also going to add 1 cup of grated cheese because I like cheesy au gratin potatoes or scallop potatoes. I don't know which one is which, but I'm going to add a cup of cheese to that. I'll be right back. You're probably going to hear my rooster in the background. He's right outside the door calling for Grandma. Of course, he does that right when my husband lays down to take his nap. Can you hear him? Okay, 1 cup of cheese, give or take. That cheese was from the food bank. The potatoes I got from the well. So really the only thing that was mine was the powdered milk and the seasonings. Okay, now I'm just going to stick my finger in that sauce and see what I think. Okay, so for me, I feel like it needs a little more pepper and maybe some garlic. A little bit of garlic powder, I think. Let's see what we think. Excuse me. That's better, I think. All right, let me pop that into my casserole dish. Which is right here. Okay. And I'm going to sit down and figure out what this cost me personally to make and what it would cost if you had to purchase all of your ingredients. And let's see how it compares to a box of pre-made scalloped or au gratin potatoes from Walmart. All right, this is going to go in my oven for 45 minutes. Let's see how it does. Okay, and there's my lid. There's my remaining 2 servings of it. Also, I write on my jars and my lids all the time with a Sharpie, and it just washes off when I'm ready to, you know, wash my dishes and use them again. So let me sit down and get that calculated out, and I will see what it costs.